Hi everyone, konnichiwa, it's Ryu from Japan, and today I am going to teach you guys 13 things you should not do in Japan from my Japanese perspective, so please enjoy watching this. So the first thing you should not do is don't talk on the phone. Japanese trains, you're not allowed to talk on the phone. You're allowed to text, so basically you're not allowed to make noise because it's Japanese people care about like the noise. If the train is like too noisy, you know, Japanese people don't like that. So like, don't use your phone on the train to call somebody. If somebody calls you on the train, just don't pick that up and like send a message, I'm on the train, and they won't understand you. Yes, and just call back later after you get off the train, or just text them or something. Don't pick up the phone. And the next thing you should not do in Japan is don't forget to take off your shoes when you go to somebody's house. So I know like in some countries you don't take off your shoes, but like in Japan, like basically everywhere you go inside people's house, you just gotta take off your shoes, you know. It's not just a custom, and like it's not a rule, but it's a custom. So like people expect you to take off your shoes, you know. Shoes is dirty, so like we don't want people like coming into our house with shoes on. So just take that off and like, you know, just follow the rules and take that off. That's as simple as that, right? And the third thing you should not do in Japan is to don't only speak in your mother tongue language. So what I mean is that try to learn Japanese. So like I know like some foreigners who don't, like non-Japanese people, they speak like in their mother tongue language and they don't try to learn Japanese. But I think that's really like, I don't think it's a good thing to do, because like if you speak Japanese in Japan, it's more fun. I say it's like 10 times, 100 times more fun if you speak Japanese. So even if you're like don't speak Japanese right now, just try to study and try to speak Japanese. Yes, so that's my advice to you. And the fourth thing you should not do in Japan is make sure to learn how to use chopsticks. Yes, so like chopsticks, like it comes to basically all the Japanese meals. You usually talk chopsticks unless it's like a hamburger or steak is something from the Western world, you know. So people usually use like chopsticks. So like make sure to use chopsticks, because chopsticks, like people kind of see like how educated you are with the people, if you don't hold your chopsticks right, the Japanese people kind of see you that you're like not educated, you know what I mean? So if you like hold your chopsticks correct, you know, people will think that you're smart. So make sure to learn how to use chopsticks before you come into Japan, or even after coming to Japan. Yes. So the next thing you don't want to do in Japan is to skip lines on trains. So that's basically applies to like almost all the countries, I guess. But like just Japanese people like to line up. So like we like follow our manners, and like we care a lot about like what other people think of us. So like just don't cut off the line, and like just get on the line and like, you know, use a smartphone or something. Yeah, just don't cut the line. That's the rule right here. And same thing you don't want to do in Japan is to ignore Japanese laws. You gotta watch out for Japanese laws that's like different from your country. You just gotta follow the rules and like manners and laws in Japan. That is, you know, you just gotta be careful, you know. If you don't want to get arrested, or if you don't want to be hate by Japanese people or Japanese girls and Japanese guys. Yeah, so that be careful about. So eighth thing you don't want to do is don't point at people. So like you don't want to, like, I don't know, it's more, I think it happens to almost all country, but like people usually don't point at people in Japan. People kind of see it as a rude thing to do, so just don't point at people when you see somebody. Don't be like, hey you, or something like that. That's kind of rude in Japan, so just make sure you don't do that in Japan. Yes. And ninth thing you don't want to do is about don't smoke weed in Japan. So like drugs are like super illegal in Japan. Like I know weed's like illegal in some countries, and like Western, like American, and like, you know, Europe. But like don't do that in Japan, because you gotta go to jail if you smoke weed. And if you say to Japanese people that you smoke weed, people will like see you as like a criminal. So like just don't smoke weed in Japan. Just smoke in your own country, but not in Japan. Or make sure not to bring it to the airport though. So like you just get busted if you do. So be careful when you come to Japan. Just get that weed out from the backpack and like give it to your friends or something like that. Yeah, okay. Alright, so the next one is to don't disrespect elders and senpai. So senpai means like somebody older than you. So like we like to I don't know, we kind of care a lot about age, and like we have to like respect the people who are also older than you. So you just gotta, you know, respect your senpai and elders. And like, you know, even if you don't respect them, just like just act like you respect them, to like, you know, so they will be happy about it. You know, and like the good thing about Japan is a senpai, if they go to restaurants, they'll pay for you if you respect them. So like if you want to get that free meal, just like respect your senpai, or like, just act like you respect your senpai. That's my advice to you. 11 things you don't want to do in Japan. Don't leave a tip in Japan. So like that's if you go to a restaurant or like leave a tip, like people don't know what tip is usually. So like we don't tip in Japan. So like some people who's working at a restaurant, they will be kind of confused if you get a tip. They might think that you like forget your money. So just don't tip. Even if you do, just say that you're tipping. Just don't leave that money on the table. You know, like people will like, yeah, think you're like you left your money on wall. So you know, just if you tip, it just like give that tip. Kind of different from your country. You know what I mean? Yeah. Well, cheaper in Japan. It sucks if you're working, but you don't get a tip in Japan. 12 thing you don't want to do in Japan, don't go to onsen pool or like onsen pool with a tattoo on. Some people still see it as like a discrimination, like people see it as a bad thing. So like even if you have a tattoo, just don't go to onsen or pool. Or before you go to onsen, just cover that tattoo up so nobody will see it. So like, you know, if you go onsen, you can get away with it. But like it's not like I don't have anything against tattoo, but some people have something against it. Just make sure to put that in mind before you come into Japan, so you know, like, so you don't go to beach or like you don't go to like onsen and pool with a tattoo on everywhere. Yeah, okay. So that's my advice to you. You don't want to do in Japan, don't get in a bathtub before showering first. So what I mean is that onsen. So if you go to onsen, right, there's a bathtub, right? And like some people don't like dive directly into bathtub. You know, you gotta shower first. You know, you're dirty, so you gotta shower first. So that's why Japanese people do it. Everybody showers before going to the bathtub. You know what I mean? Like nobody wanna have your sweat in your bathtub and like, you know, share that sweat with you. So just try to be clean. You know, as better as you can. Japanese people are clean, and we try to stay clean as possible. Those are the 13 things you should not do in Japan. There are many more things you should not do in Japan, but like in this video, I just explained you 13 things. Maybe in the future videos, I explain you 13 things, more than 13 things. So you just gotta learn from your mistakes. But like if you know these, you know, at least you won't make these mistakes, you know, in the future. I just say it's mostly like the major things that Japanese people don't like to do for foreign people to do. So you just gotta be careful. But like we really want foreigners to come to Japan even in this pandemic time, maybe after the pandemic's over. So make sure to please come to Japan, and we are really happy that you guys like Japan, and we should just show respect to Japan and learning things about Japan. And we're happy as Japanese, and we wanna omotenashi you guys, so welcome you guys. So yeah, thank you for watching this video, and please check out my other videos as well, and subscribe to my channel and check out more videos and like my channel. Alright, so thank you very much for watching. I also play some music and I'll do some Japanese lessons online, so please check those out as well. Alright, so thank you very much for watching today. See you.
Sushi, Tempura, arigato, konnichiwa. Sushi, Tempura, arigato,